Hey guys, it's OCM, and welcome to my Varian how-to guide. Today we're going to break down everything that you need to know about Varian, how to play him, what builds you're going to need to take. We're going to go over it all. We're going to make you a Varian god. Trust me. So, first things first, we need to talk about what exactly Varian is. If you've never played World of Warcraft, Varian is literally the pinnacle translation of the World of Warcraft warrior into Heroes of the Storm. He is amazing, and I love him. But because he is a translation of the warrior from World of Warcraft, there are three ways to build him, and they're pretty fun. These ways are Arms, Fury, and Protection. Each one of them serves a different purpose for a different situation. Arms is very burst-centered damage, Fury is very sustain, stick-on-target damage, and Protection is obviously the solo tank build. And yes, Varian can solo tank, I know, it's pretty neat. But we're going to get into every one of these builds, we're going to explain what you take, why they're strong, all that good stuff. So, right off the bat, we're going to start off here with the first build, the Arms build. This build starts with High King's Quest, which for both of his damage builds, I would argue, is pretty necessary. You're going to see that throughout most of Varian's damage builds, that scaling attack damage is just incredibly useful. And the fact that it also gives you an extra 30 additional base attack damage on top of completing all three parts of the quest just only makes the talent so much more valuable. So right off the bat, we're going to go with High King's Quest for this build. And this is the awesome part where, for some reason, my whatever this is. Can we just talk about this? Why did that reset? Hello? Intuitive game? Intuitive game? Game's perfect. So, right off the bat, High King's Quest. Next, there's a lot of debate about this talent, but I'm going to argue why you need to take Warbringer, especially for the Arms build. Warbringer reads the charge now stuns the target for 1 second instead of slowing them, and its cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. Okay, Warbringer. If you really need the prevent all damage, yes, you can go Shield Wall, but you need to look at what you're giving up when you don't say yes to a point-and-click stun. Just keep that in mind. So Warbringer is what we go here. For the Arms build, we're going to go Victory Rush, because the difference between Arms and Fury is that Arms does not have the attack speed that Fury does not benefit from Second Wind the way that you will want to have that benefit from. So Victory Rush, much more potent. It's a burst heal that synergizes well with just fighting in lane, being a lane bully, being able to blow someone up and use that burst heal to keep yourself in the fight. Victory Rush is the way we're going to go. And you don't suffer from a lack of attack speed. The heal will either be there or it won't be. At 10, we are going to go Colossus Smash. This is the entire purpose of the Arms build. Arms warriors in World of Warcraft are notorious for using their two-handed weapons. Colossus Smash does just that. This move is amazing. I do recommend you keep it on quick cast because I will show you guys the combo that Arms rotates around. There are two options that you can take here at 13, and I actually found this out from a little bit of research and going through this. I don't think Banner of Stormwind, honestly, is that useful. I know that might upset some of you, but that's okay because I don't necessarily play like you. Banner of Ironforge is generally my go-to because being able to not only give yourself but your allies 25% reduced damage taken is pretty awesome, and that's on a 45-second cooldown. It also acts as vision. Your banners act as vision. It's great. It's amazing. I think that resistance is great. However, if you are confident in both your tank and your support players and you want to just amplify straight damage, Banner of Dalaran, as a matter of fact, does also grant Varian 20% increased ability power. And the reason that that's important is because the entire combo here with the Arms build is ability damage. So it's amazing, and you'll see I can show you guys the numbers difference, but for the sake of showing you what that exactly does, we're going to go Banner of Dalaran. At 16, this is another very critical thing. This builds into the Warbringer pick as well. You have to go Juggernaut here. I will argue this till the end of time. Juggernaut is 6% bonus damage, 6% max health bonus damage on top of your charge damage already. This benefits from your Colossus Smash vulnerability. So, amazing burst, and again, this plays into the combo. Again, at 20, there are just a bunch of amazing picks here, and you really can't go wrong, although I do say that for the repetition and ready use of this combo that I'm going to show you guys, I think Master at Arms is the best pick here. It reduces Colossus Smash's cooldown by 10 seconds, and gives you the artifact weapon trait from Legion, where all of the enemies in the area of your main target will get vulnerability as well. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty decent wombo as well. One thing to keep in mind with the arms build as well is that when you do go Colossus Smash, you trade out a little bit of your health, so you do become a little bit more glass cannon. So I don't recommend if you just end up in like a quick match or whatever, or maybe you have like a weaker solo stuff. I don't think this is the build that you're going to want to go. I think you're going to want to go something like Fury if you're in quick match, you're concerned about healing or whatever. But if you have a good healer and you have a good tank front line, this is a very good build to use. It synergizes well with burst damage like Li Ming and all that good stuff. So, the most important thing here to talk about with the arms build is the combo. I cannot stress how important this is. If you don't use this, you're not going to get any value out of this combo. So, right off the bat, it is R, E, Q. Okay, it's all your ability damage, and then you can hopefully also get your Heroic Strike proc off, which will just do the bonus 80. Great, awesome, feels good. But what you're going to do is you're going to go in R for the vulnerability, you're going to E, and then you're going to Q. You want that all to happen while that vulnerability is on there, and the faster that you can get it off, the better. It's an amazing combo. It does a ton of damage, and as you'll see here as well, this benefits from the banner damage, so what you can do is just drop banner, go in, full combo off, and that was almost 2,000 damage. Keep in mind that we did not even have High King's Quest completed, so we didn't even have the bonus attack damage there as well. This combo is so potent, it's so good, and it can just absolutely destroy squishies. So keep this in mind. This is very, very, very important to playing arms build correctly. For the most part, that is arms build. It's pretty straightforward. Again, if you have any questions about any one of these builds that I will be going over, you can leave questions in the comments below. I will be happy to go over them. If you happen to be watching this on the Heroes Nexus guide of mine as well, feel free to drop questions in there. I will answer your questions, I promise. If you have any questions, though, please leave them. For the most part, that is the arms build, so we're not going to waste a whole lot of time more on that. Our next build is the Fury build, and this is my personal favorite. I will say that this is my personal favorite. Once again, it starts out with High King's Quest, an amazing talent. Again, I will argue that you want and need Warbringer here. That point-and-click stun is amazing. The first deviation that you're going to see is Second Wind. Second Wind has a ton of value in this build because of the attack speed and because of the self-sustain that you can bring on top of your banner choice at 13, on top of your parry sustain. It's amazing. This allows you to like solo bosses, solo camps, really get in and just... Ooh, I like this build a lot. I like this build a lot. So, again, what's going to define this build at 10 is going to be Twin Blades of Fury. Fury Warriors known... I'm sorry, this song is terrible. Fury Warriors known for their Titan's Grip was the one that I used. I burped. Titan's Grip was the one that I used when I played World of Warcraft, so I have to say that that is my personal favorite. They give Varian, though, the one-handers, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not complaining. It's still cool. But Twin Blades of Fury is what defines this build. It gains attack speed, you lose attack damage, which again emphasizes the importance of going High King's Quest at 1. And your basic attacks reduce your Heroic Strike cooldown. So we're gonna talk about why that is so important as well. Not only is that bonus damage, but there's more magic there. Twin Blades of Fury is the option that you are going to go here. For this build, I don't know why, and this is not to be too passionate here talking about this, but I don't know why you would go Banner of Stormwind here, because you gain movement speed every time you attack any target while you have Twin Blades of Fury. So if you really need that extra movement speed, you're kind of doing something wrong. So I will argue here that because you don't actually benefit too much from ability power, unless you really have someone on your team that's just whipping mad damage out AP style here, you're not really going to need Banner of Dalaran. So Banner of Ironforge is amazing. It allows you to get in there, take reduced damage, just be that juggernaut, brutal attack speed. I love this build. Now here's the thing though, at 16, this is very important. There are a number of times that this build is incredibly relevant, and one of them is versus high healing or double sup teams. The reason being, Mortal Strike is a 40% reduced healing for 4 seconds on targets hit by your Heroic Strike. Flashback to 10 when we pick Twin Blades of Fury. Every one of your basic attacks now reduces Heroic Strike's cooldown by 9 seconds, so essentially you're Heroic Striking every third auto attack. whoever you're on when using this build is going to be taking a constant 40% reduced healing. Now again, in a situation like a no support team, like you're in quick match or maybe an unranked draft with like low solo sup healing, I'm going to argue that you don't necessarily need this, in which case maybe they have a task star, you can go shattering thrower like a Joanna or something. If you see the value in breaking shields, fine. Otherwise, I would argue again that Juggernaut bonus damage is just so good. 6% of anyone's max health is super significant, so weigh your options there, but for the most part, the reason that you're going to go this build is not only just for the awesome sustain and like stick on target, but if you're up against a heavy healing team like Malfurion even, this is amazing. Mortal Strike is just seriously amazing. At 20, again, there are a number of options that you can take here. All of them are good, although I would argue again that for just emphasizing Varian's individual strengths, Frenzy is the way to go here. It increases all of your bonuses on Twin Blades of Fury, except for reducing attack damage. So you don't lose more attack damage with this, you just gain all of your bonuses further. So I can show you guys what this looks like. I mean, it's no real secret. This is a very right-click heavy build, but your ability to read situations is going to be very key. So at level 20, your attack speed looks something like this. You have the bonus movement speed as well, which is why I argue you don't need stuff like Banner of Stormwind. As you can see, it's just consistently taking reduced healing. You can throw that charge damage onto there as well, drop ban. I mean, like, it's such a stick-on target, very Juggernaut, just, whew, I love this build. I love this build. This is personally my favorite build to play with Varian. Not a whole lot here to talk about other than the beauty and grace that is being able to solo a boss. So we're going to talk about this for a second. There is a time and a place to solo boss. Wow, good job, Cam. There's a time and a place to solo boss, but as you can see, Varian doesn't have a lot of issue soloing bosses, mainly because if he falls below 50% health, he just generates health faster and critical strikes. You do better the lower health that you are. So honestly, there's no way for you to consciously lose a boss unless someone comes to fight you on it. As you can see, the burn is really decent. You can sneak bosses pretty well as well, but this again requires you just being able to read a map. Ironically, something that I think a lot of the Heroes community has trouble with. If you need to, you can drop Banner as well. Soloing bosses are really not an issue for Varian. It's a good perk that he has. Not a lot else to talk about in Fury there. Again, questions, comments, anything you can leave in the comments below on either the guide or this YouTube video. The third build that we are going to talk about is the Protection build, and I believe that this is an amazing way that Varian can very viably solo tank. And I didn't actually know, looking through his talents and everything, will Varian be able to solo tank? Is that something that's going to be like on the table for him? It is, as a matter of fact. Level 1. There's a lot to talk about with level 1 for this build. I personally prefer Lion's Maw because after hitting 30 heroes, it not only ups that damage of Lion's Fang, which is really good for wave clear in a build that doesn't necessarily have great wave clear. It's not only wave clear, but the 40% slow on top of an increased duration of 4 seconds, that's really good. You're a tank. Your job is to get out there and control and make use of your kit. I think that Lion's Fang does that really well. It's a great emphasis of that. If you are against a team that really benefits from auto attack damage, Overpower is fine. It's more just of a damage perk, but it doesn't add anything to your wave clear, and I think wave clear is... I believe it's critical. I believe it's critical in this build, especially because this does not have a lot of wave clear. So I go Lion's Maw at 1. It requires hitting 30 heroes, which at the end of the day is really not that hard. Just land your scale shots. At 4, I go Shield Wall. And I know that there are a lot of options here, and I will explain this. If you are up against a team that is very auto attack heavy, it is totally okay to go Warbringer. 100%. If you're up against like a Vala, Illidan, auto attack heroes. If you are up against a lot of auto attack heroes, go Warbringer. That stun value is so good. I cannot emphasize how good of a talent Warbringer is. However, you are a solo tank, and you want to be a solo tank. If you're up against heavier burst heroes like, or even ability power heroes like Alarak, Li Ming, Chromie, any of these very heavy burst, out of nowhere damage type heroes, And honestly, even for some auto attack heroes as well, which is why I argue this talent is so good, we go Shield Wall. So for this build, I go Shield Wall 9 times out of 10, because your parry now grants you Protected, preventing all incoming damage for the duration. As a tank, it's pretty nice when you don't take damage, because your job is to take damage. At 7, I don't see the value in either Second Wind or Victory Rush for this build. Victory Rush maybe, but then again, like... Live by the Sword, however, is amazing. It increases the duration of parry by 20%, which is really good because that's 20% additionally longer that you don't take any damage because of Shield Wall at 4. If you block at least 2 hero basic attacks with a single parry, the cooldown is also reduced by 3 seconds. Granted, that is only auto attacks, but auto attacks are going to happen. People are going to be trying to kill you. That's still a really beneficial talent if for no other reason than just the increased duration of 20%, so we go Live by the Sword. Protection Warriors in World of Warcraft, Sword and Board. Not really a huge mystery here talking about this. Taunt is the way that you're going to go. I do have to say this, though. Hear me when I say this. Tanking with Varian before level 10 with this build is very difficult. You are not functionally a tank until questionably level 4, where you can take a little bit more damage, questionably level 7, where it becomes a little bit longer of a duration. At level 10, you gain an extra 50% health. This is when you become a tank. Your health has not scaled like a tank up to this point. You've scaled like an assassin, because that's what Varian is. He's a multi-class. At 10, though, you gain this 50% additional health, and your attack speed, however, is reduced by 25%. So again, you're not really supposed to get out there and deal damage with this. If you want to build him Bruiser, obviously there are ways to do that, but I'm talking about building him as the protection solo tank. Taunt is also an amazing talent here. It's just so good. And let's talk about that shield on that Master Skin, too. Oh my god, if that is not one of the coolest things ever. Case in point, you are going to want Taunt here. Taunt is an amazing ability. It literally brings you straight wherever your target is or whoever your target is. It's a melee range ability, as you can see here, but it draws them to you. It's basically a stun that still allows them to auto-attack, but just an amazing ability. At level 13, your choice here is way more lenient than the other two builds that we were talking about. There's a lot here that you can choose from. Obviously, if you're just going for living longer and living harder, Banner of Ironforge is great. If you have strong ability damage on your team and you want to emphasize that, Banner of Dalaran, great choice. If you have heroes like Illidan on your team or Greymane on your team that maybe need that extra movement speed and will benefit from that and staying on targets, maybe like a Kerrigan as well, Banner of Stormwind is a great option here. I argue that this is the one build you genuinely need Banner of Stormwind in for certain teams. So, you can go whichever one that you want here. That's the moral of the story. For the sake of the build and for what I put on the guide, it's Banner of Ironforge that we're going to go here. Just the extra resistance is always good. At level 16, you have a ton of options here, and the beauty of the solo tank build is that there are so many situations that you can use whatever in. Juggernaut is a great talent if you're up against multi-tank teams. If you're solo tanking against very large health pool heroes, maybe it's not even a double tank team, but you've got like they've got like an Asmodan and then a main tank, or if they have like a heavier Juggernaut type hero, like a Sonya maybe, and then they have a main tank, this is a great talent to go. It's really decent bonus damage there. It kind of turns you into a threat with your charge, and it just helps soften up the enemy team to a level. It's good against high health pool teams. Mortal Strike, though, is also another great option. It just, that 4 seconds, even without the Fury benefit, that 4 seconds of 40% reduced healing is going to affect whoever you're on, so make use of it. It's kind of just the added bonus of having such a flexible 16 with this build. If you are up against Tassadar, Joanna, people like that do benefit from shields or have the ability to give out shields, Shattering Throw is also a really good option. I think it's less likely that you'll come across this than other choices like Mortal Strike or Juggernaut, but it's on the table. If you want to make use of it, make use of it. 16 is incredibly flexible. For the sake of just picking a talent here, for the one that I use most of the time when using this build, Mortal Strike is a pretty good way to go. 20, you have a number of options again. I would argue that the weakest pick on this tier is actually the upgrade to Taunt, which is Vigilance. It's being hit by a hero basic attack reduces the cooldown of Taunt by 0.75 seconds. It's clearly an okay talent if you want Taunt up more often, but I weigh that against what other options you have. Glory to the Alliance increases all healing effects to your team that are standing in your banner, and that's amazing, especially if maybe you have like a very spread pressure team that you're up against, like a Lunara. You want your team to be able to benefit from extra healing and keep yourselves alive. Glory to the Alliance does really well with that, especially if you can keep your banner in a safe spot. I will argue, though, as well, that especially in the melee assassin meta that we are in right now, just the melee heavy meta in general, Demoralizing Shout is amazing. It's a 25-second cooldown that all nearby enemy heroes deal 25% reduced damage for 5 seconds. It's an amazing talent. I have been able to make such good use of this throughout so many games. I think Demoralizing Shout is a great pick. Again, I think the two strongest on this tier are definitely Glory to the Alliance and definitely Demoralizing Shout. I think the Vigilance is weak. So between these two, pick your poison. I believe that in this meta, Demoralizing Shout is amazing. And there's not a lot to really display with this build, just for the sake of, I can show you guys the duration of taunt, the duration of your parry, but there's not a whole lot to really show here in terms of tanking. I have a video that's actually down below in my Heroes Nexus guide. You can find it on my YouTube as well. It's called /taunt. It shows me actually using this protection build to go and steal a boss at level 10. It's really cool. There's just a lot that you can use this for because taunt does act as an interrupt as well. You can really just get in here. You can see the attack speed is noticeably slower, but your health pool is massive at level 20. You got 5,800 health to work with. Your banner can go down. You can reduce attack damage, or just general damage, actually. Your charge is good, slow utility. Your Q is good, slow utility. And then, of course, you have this protected that lasts a really decent amount of time. This is basically a mini Medivh shield with 2 charges that you can have a reduced cooldown on if people are basic attacking you. Case in point, very, very viable solo tank build. So, that is what we're talking about there with Varian. So thank you guys. These are my 3 builds that I use. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching this video. Hopefully this clarifies a bunch for Varian. I hope this can help you guys get out there and really make use of a lot of just Varian's awesome strengths. I can't really emphasize enough just how cool this hero is. And the thing is, I don't believe he's over or underpowered. I genuinely don't. I believe he has his moments where he can be very strong, and I believe he has his moments where he is a good counter pick, where he is a good team carry pick, and where he is a great solo tank. There are just a myriad of options that are there, but he's very counterable. What we will talk about before we close this video out are the things that Varian is weak to. And right off the bat, it's not that obvious, but it is a very, very strong counter to Varian. Consistent damage. You have to be aware of heroes like Gul'dan, Lunara, anyone with poison dots, or just even consistent attacking damage. Honestly, like Tychus is also very difficult to deal with. Raynor can be very difficult to deal with if you can't actually get to him. These heroes that can pump out consistent damage as opposed to burst damage are very good against Varian, so I would be cautious of that when playing him. Other than that, it's very obvious to see what he counters. He's very good against other melee assassins. He's very good against mitigating auto attack damage. He's very good against sticking onto targets that may not have great escapes. So there's a myriad of strengths and weaknesses there that you will be able to figure out as you go. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in both this YouTube video or my Heroes Nexus guide. I'm always checking. You guys can feel free to reach out to me through my social media as well. My Twitter will be in the video description, as well as my Twitch where I stream. If you guys are looking to see me play Varian live, I'm always playing him over there. Feel free to just drop by on any one of these means and get connected, because I would love to talk about this hero. I've been waiting for the Warrior translation for so long, and I really have to say, Blizzard hit the nail on the head with this one. I am loving this hero, and it's awoken a love for this game. Between me and this game again. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them, get connected with me. And until next time, thank you guys for tuning in. Go kick some ass with Varian.